try to get into your cerebral cortex figuratively, not realistically speaking. But so you got a lot of controversial viewpoints about how you look at life and stuff while you was preaching and all that.
Yes.
So why don't you explain to me why you went online and said all that stuff in the public sphere, the public forum for everyone to digest with their souls?
Well, to put it frankly, I like to be an honest man. So before I say anything, first I would like to clarify a few things. My religion is the Trinity, me, myself, and I. And in my faith, I believe in humanity and I believe in honesty.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Welcome to another episode.
Welcome to
Spliff Talk. Today we have a very special guest.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode on Spliff Talk. Today we going virtual. We got my man Mitchell Roulaine, a friend of mine, who has his own podcast called the Wrestling Diaries. He's interviewed me twice already, and if you haven't checked it out, the links are going to be down below. Mitchell, what's up? Welcome to my show.
What is up,
bro?
What up, dog? Thank you so much, first of all, Lucifer, for having me on. I'm an honorary guest of Talk. I didn't bring a spliff to smoke, but I took a gummy before I came here, so that's why I'm wearing these shades.
I'll be smoking for both of us.
That's why I'm wearing these shades, so they don't see my eyes pink like a fucking lab rats. Gummies are so they're so crazy, man. It's so hard to like if you want to just get fucked up in a way you don't know, then do it like a gummy, because the edible, you just don't know what you're getting. You might get like something that's like, oh yeah, this is just, I'm kind of high, but not too high. Like this is perfect. Or you could just be in another dimension. You're just seeing shapes. You're like Doctor Strange and one of the other universes, and he's like seeing all these colors and shapes and shit.
Yeah. That's true what you say. In fact, I think I told you when I went to California. Did I tell you like about my first edible experience over there?
Maybe, but refresh my memory.
So like, they were selling these like 100 gram little gummy bars, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know that it was smarter to like actually cut it where the grooves are, because it actually was like, it had grooves of like little pieces, but I thought I could just eat the whole thing, right?
Oh shit.
Bro, I ate it and I didn't feel nothing for like half an hour. So I'm like, oh,
of course,
there's nothing. 100, I'm thinking 100 G ain't nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I freaking start smoking with my friends. We're passing around like one spliff, two spliff, and then I do a dab. Bro, 30 minutes later, it all hit me like that. Bow! And I felt like a zombie, bro. It's like I went dead. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what anybody's talking about. I'm just like, bro, why does my head feel like I'm just carrying like a ton of weight on it? Like I felt like I have like a army, like my army Kevlar on my head, like just a helmet. Like that's what it felt like.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Yeah, when I got some of the edibles that I have now, like I've kind of like I said, each one, you don't know the dosage, so it's all over the place. But like essentially, like one is like a really good high. It's not like two, like you're like floating in astro space, but it's not like, you're just like you want to feel more headspace.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that, but it's very. I've also had one where I just kind of felt like really eased and chill, almost like just CBD. And then I had one where I was like walking on the ceiling. Like it was insane. But yeah, I don't have like a fun, I guess, first time high story like that. That's I've gotten so high before where I've been like, I'm never getting high again. I'm not doing this. I'm supposed to do this. You're supposed to feel good, you know. That's why people drink, to get the buzz. Get buzzed, you get high, you feel good. I was like, I'm not feeling good right now. I'm freaking out. So yeah.
Well, bro, let's talk about your show, right? So you
Okay.
have the Wrestling Diaries. Tell me and the audience, what's this show about to you, and like, why did you start it? Where did it come from? Where you planning to go with it?
So it started off with the idea of me and one of my best friends, Matt. He's my guy in the chair, right? Anybody that knows Spider-Man knows the term. I know you know it. He's my guy in the chair, but he does all the tech stuff, and he's got microchips in the blood. And we used to do a backyard wrestling like episodic show where we like dressed up in costumes and did characters, and it was like our own stage play, except we were like hitting each other with flaming trash cans and jumping off the roof and breaking people's toes and shit. Anyway, so Matt he always recorded all that stuff. He recorded the videos. He would do tribute videos and splice in music, and he was just always our tech. Out of like all of our friends, Matt was like the tech whiz guy. He's the guy that knows about electronics and technology and stuff. We went to Matt for all that stuff. And so we just did that through the years. And then, after we grew out of it and we like ended our backyard theater stuff, Matt got into recording music for bands. He did that for a little while. And fast forward X amount of years later, we're like, you know what? Why don't we do like a podcast where it's just our circle of friends, and we all talk about like our backyard wrestling and skateboard days and punk rock show days and stuff. It was mostly around our backyard wrestling stuff though. And we just had our friends on. We would come on, we talk shit to each other, and we did that. And we were having fun doing it already. And that's what we were going to do. And then I also, in the back of my mind, thought of like what it would be like to do like a serious podcast. Because this one is just like more personal and it's, about wrestling or whatever. But what about one that's like gets a lot more personal with people, and that have like a different guest on, not just my friends I've had from childhood, but like random strangers or friends of friends or whoever, work colleagues, associates, list goes on. And so I was like, And then that was right around the time I found London Real, which is the academy that you and I attended for a little bit online. And, they had like the broadcast yourself, which was for getting into podcasting. And I wanted to get in that one. And I don't know why I ended up I chose the, what was the one that we were in called? Do you remember?
The Business Accelerator course.
Business Accelerator. I don't know how I got like into that one, because I meant to do the broadcast yourself, because I didn't care about like any of that stuff. Like I wanted to start a podcast, and then I made the mistake and bought the wrong program. Then I freaked out about it. And I remember when we all got the email for what was her name? Bill Horn, Betsy, like calling us to debrief us on our class and what was going on and all that.
Yeah.
Well, on my first call with her, I was freaking out. I was like, hey, look, I don't know if I should be here. I don't think I'm supposed to be here. Like I'm supposed to like, I don't know how I accidentally bought this one, but I'm supposed to do the broadcast yourself, not this. I don't care about this shit. And I was like, I just want to do podcasting and know how to do like one more professionally. And she was like, oh, no. And she was like, no, it's fine. She was like, trust me. I've seen or done the broadcast yourself. It's going to be all the same material, except maybe more accentuated towards podcasting, but really it's all the same stuff. And it's, she was like, you doing this first will be fine. It'll kind of like give you the basics to what you need anyways. And then she was like, really? And then she was like, and then you could buy the broadcast yourself. She was like, but really, I don't think you'd need to after you take this course. And so she chilled me out, and boom. We fast forward sometime through when we were in the academy, I was like, you know what? Me and Matt are just going to greenlight it. We're just going to go for it. He's like, already got the equipment. I can get a couple guests on to inaugurate our show, and we'll give it a shot. And so, yeah, we did that. And I derived the name from actually one part actual professional wrestling. It was based off of the characters that we had created when we were kids. And it details the commissioner, who's kind of like a Vince McMahon type character, who I play. and his name's Commissioner Seth, and then it changes to King Seth, and later God Seth. It's a whole crazy narrative. But like in the story, I was going to write the story, a book, and in the book, it's about his son named Hax, who like comes up in the ranking and like wrestling, and then he gets into the business aspect, and then he sees his dad going crazy and doing all kinds of terrible things for the business, taking it in a bad direction. They're losing money. He's insane, and he has his dad legally committed to an insane asylum, and then he takes the company. He takes it from his dad, and while his dad is in the asylum, he has, when it's time for them to do rec, he has like this journal, this diary that he keeps, and he writes in it about his time in the asylum. He goes like detailing his life, about like the beginning of his life, how he got into the business, how he came from a rich family, and so on and so forth. And then he talks about his hatred for his son, how he's come back for his empire, and blah 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 blah. And the name of that title of that book was going to be The Wrestling Diary. Well, it's not was, but it is one day when I get it written. It's going to be called The Wrestling Diaries. It's a double entendre. It's about the fictional world of professional wrestling and also this guy wrestling with his own personal demons, right? So that concept, he's wrestling with oneself. I was like, this podcast I do, it needs like a niche or a name and a title, like what's it about? And I was like, I'm going to talk to just everyday people about the things they wrestle with, and I'm going to call it The Wrestling Diaries. And boom, and so basically, if I had to break down my podcast in a title, if people ultimately want to know what it is, it's about emotional health. And it took me some time before that came across, but I was talking to somebody the other day, and it just hit me. I was like, essentially, it's like practical emotional health. I'm talking to people about their emotional health and, well-being and stuff. So that's the story of The Wrestling Diaries, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a good story, bro. A really good story.
Thank you.
That's some powerful stuff too, because like your thought process behind everything is very empathic.
Oh, really? How's that?
Because like, you took something that meant to you as a child, and you related it to like things that other people go through, and this story of this guy, and it just shows like how much you care about like others.
Wow. Shit, I never even thought about that. You're the expert though. I'll take it.
I mean, I've told you before, like you've always you're when I did your reading, your numerology reading, I told you that you're a very empathic person. You understand culture and human behavior, and I think you've always been interested in like being involved in people's lives.
Well, I mean, really, I can't take any of the credit, because for everything that you said about me, all the credit should go to the sexual Sasquatch.
Yeah, for those of you who don't
Matt's
know,
giggling over here. Whenever Matt giggles at something, it's fucking funny. That's how I know it's truly funny, if Matt's giggling.
We did a little skit that I'm going to release soon.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, with two different characters. So stay tuned for that. But funny man.
Yeah, you got to let all of our Billhorn schoolmates, teammates, whatever. You got to let them see it.
Oh yeah, as soon as it's done, I'm gonna send it in the messenger.
Good. So people, half of them will be like, "What? These fucking guys? What the fuck is wrong with these grown men?" And then the other half are like, "Oh my god, they're so silly." Oh my god, that's cool, man. Yeah, I'm thanks for asking me to do that. I haven't gotten to do like a fun characterization of something in a minute. Well, I mean, I dressed up like a fortune teller gypsy for the Viking party, the Viking Diaries that I did, but I wasn't really in character. It was just me dressed up in this cool garb. Actually, it's the headdress that I used for the Bob guy. Yeah, that was from the Viking party. But
well,
yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I want to do. That's what I'm trying to do more with my show too. Is like more skits like that.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun, man.
Take stuff that are real and make it funny.
Yeah, and it also ties into the whole spliff thing because when people are fucking stoned, they'll do all kinds of stupid stuff like that.
Right, right.
All kinds of stuff. Although,
Nonsensical arguments and
yeah,
conversations.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's so funny because like Matt and I did all this crap, all this backyard wrestling, this theatrical stuff, and we didn't do drugs at the time. No pot, no nothing. We were straight, clean. But we came up with all this crazy shit. Everybody used to think though that we did drugs. Remember that, Matt?
Really?
I was like, oh, we're on drugs and stuff.
That story.
And we're like, we don't do that. No, it's about Jesus.
Tell us a crazy story of you and Matt.
A crazy story of me and Matt. God, I don't know. There's so many. I don't know where to
that comes to your mind.
I don't like the first one that comes to mind. There's nothing going through this head right now except for THC. Just a big cloud of THC inside of this skull. A crazy story. I don't know, Matt. You like what's a crazy story? I'm high, so I can't like hold on to these thoughts. They're fleeting so quickly.
Do you like saying anything?
Yeah.
There was that time we were going skateboarding as a group collectively, and Thomas, we already know Thomas was just like a crazy character, so he really
Real
had to
quick
take a
backstory,
dump,
real quick
like
for
really
people.
bad.
Thomas, the guy he's talking about, is also the guy that invented the sexual Sasquatch with me once upon a time. Yeah, he's my partner with that. Anyways, sorry, Matt. Go on.
Okay, so Thomas really has to take a dump. So rather than just going to like a nearby gas station and taking a crap, we're at a pharmacy, like right outside, skateboarding. And
can we legally talk about this? Okay, just.
I mean, it's been like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay, all right, go.
Okay, so
we're good.
He really has to take a dump, and we're outside skating, and he's just like, all right, I really have to go. So there's a nearby ashtray. He drops trowel, squats in the ashtray, and takes a dump. I don't even know if we should talk about this at all.
I don't know. I think we're fine. You're right. It's 10 years ago. I don't like.
Okay,
like
so anyway,
it definitely was a crime.
To add like insult to injury, yeah, like he crapped inside an ashtray. But then he like, I don't know, I think he tipped it over.
No, he
threw it over,
up and he smeared it all over. And this is outside a doctor's office. He pours the diarrhea shit all on the sidewalk. Don't invite this guy to parties, ladies and gentlemen, ever.
All right, so here's the worst part.
This is the funniest part, though.
Yeah, the funniest part.
Here's the climax.
Because even though that was done by Thomas, someone else we became acquainted with a few years down the line, he was skating in that same place the next weekend. Cops show up and he gets busted, and they blame the crap smearing all over the place on him.
Yes.
And he had to go to court for that type of
stuff.
He
had to go. Our other friend Scott had to go to court.
So we're telling the story at this party one time, and Scott was like, "You motherfucker, I got in trouble for that, and that was you this whole time." But you know, we stayed cool for years.
Yeah, that's a good one. There you go, man. That's a crazy story with me and Matt.
That is nuts. Yo, what the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's on video somewhere, isn't it, Matt? We have actual like footage for the police to do something.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But yeah, our other friend, another mutual friend of ours, who's actually since passed away, R.I.P. Scott. But he got in trouble for the next weekend. Like he got like, I don't know if he got arrested. He got detained, I think, because our other friend crapped in the ashtray. And then fast forward X amount of years later at a party, it comes up. And then he's just like, that motherfucker had to go to court. My dad had to like threaten to sue the city or something. And like, yeah, it's, oh man, Thomas, what a piece of shit. I'm just kidding. If you ever see this, Thomas, much love, brother.
All right.
Yeah, that's a crazy story.
Last question. I know that you always ask your guests, what are they wrestling with? So I'm going to ask you, where you ask them. You made
Oh,
this show
touche.
about other people's wrestling demons and things they go through. What are you wrestling with?
Ooh. I'm gonna do the classic line that everybody says. How long you got? That's what they say on my show sometimes. When I say, man, all kinds of things. I'm wrestling with indecision is a big one I wrestle with because I've got all these things I have to do. I don't have to do, but I want to do. And I'm just like, I take so long being like, oh, should I pick the red or the white? Should I go left or right? White or black? And I can't just like decide on something and have to get in my head about like what's the right decision. And in doing this, it's just really slowing down my progress for success in life. Just because I don't know like how to operate with just like, and when I've thrown that stuff out and just thrown it in the wind, I've seen success, but it's when it's so hard when you're hardwired, you're programmed like that. I think it's just been something I've had since childhood, just being very indecisive. I think it's also a symptom of me being like overly like hyper aware, hyper perceptive. I'm so aware of so many minor details. Like, oh my gosh, you have like a little bit of peach fuzz on the top part of your index finger knuckle, and they just stood up because I guess you got goosebumps, maybe not, and you also like twirl it just a certain way, and they're like, what? How the fuck I don't even know I did all that stuff you just said. And so I think in doing that, it makes me overanalyze things, making me indecisive about like what to do. And then that indecision also can turn into laziness, which is another thing that I wrestle with is, I don't know what to do. So I'm just like, oh, so I'm just like, I just start chillaxing or something. So that's some stuff that I deal with. A lot of personal inner demons when it comes to I've never really known how to have a healthy relationship with someone, like where I stick around or I don't be a dirtbag about stuff or an asshole. And so now I've finally like landed on my most important relationship with my fiance, and I've never been this far with any person I've ever been with before. And I get nervous and worried that is like what I do, the certain ways that I am, are they gonna like, fuck this up? Maybe. But that's something that I wrestle with about worrying about like my own commitment. I guess commitment issues. I guess that's what that would be if I boiled it down into a simple adjective. Yeah. And not just commitment to romantic relationships, but commitment to something I'm doing. Because in the past, man, I'll tell you, like I would start a lot of fucking projects and things, and I couldn't stick with something. And then I would use whatever excuse I needed to use, like, oh, well, it's because the other person wants to a butthole, or because I don't have time, or blah, 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 blah. But it's really, I do something and then I got bored with it. And then I didn't reap the fruit from it. So I was like, oh, I'm not getting any sugar from this. So I'm moving on to the next sweet endeavor. And that's just something that has kept me, stationary, not moving in a direction. And so that's something I've wrestled with a lot. In this later part of my life, though, I feel like I've won a lot more of the in-ring battles with this monster. Because I've been doing a lot of shit in the last like couple of years now. I've really pushed my life further than I have pushed it, the envelope for what I can do, what I'm capable of, my sacrifice, my risk. So yeah, man. And then last but not least, I don't know how many people watch your show that know me, but if anybody that watches my show watches this, like, people might be like, oh, what? You really wrestle with that? I thought you just fool yourself. But I wrestle with confidence sometimes, or what's the word I'm trying to look for? Confidence, but
like trust in yourself.
Yeah, I guess so. Like trusting myself and confidence in that, like I'm as smart or as cool or as great as people think I am, or as I elude myself to be. And yeah, that's something like I wrestle with about, like, like, am I good enough? Like, am I funny enough? Am I smart enough? Am I a good enough lover? Am I well spoken enough? Am I intelligent enough? Am I articulate enough?
Yeah, you're
And that's
always
some,
there.
yeah, I'm always like fighting with that. And so like I have a sense of humor about myself, especially when it comes to like my looks or something. And I'll say like, yeah, because I'm so hot and stuff, right? And really like I'm just being funny, but then also I think like some of that is my insecurities bleeding out into the humor. And then people, of course, I for the longest time I was like, I guess I really am charming or attractive or whatever, because so many, like a lot of people get offended if I make those jokes. And I was like, if I wasn't, then why would they get so offended? I have another friend who's not by general societal standards, not like that aesthetically pleasing. He's kind of heavy set guy and he's balding and, you know, but he makes the same jokes I do about like his appearance or how cool he is or whatever, smart or sexy or whatever, like jokes. And when he makes them, people think it's hilarious and funny. But when I make them, it's like, Mitchell's just so full of himself. What a piece of shit.
You
Well,
know
not
why?
everybody does that, but a select few.
You know why they do that?
Why do they do that?
Because think about it, like
They're
he's
insecure.
doing it, and people don't believe that, would naturally not believe that about him because of the way he looks.
Yeah.
So that goes to show how people's humor is sometimes based off on a lot of surface things, like the way you look, the way you dress, whether you have an average build or you're fat, you know. So when you come off with these jokes, they don't understand that those jokes are coming because of your insecurities and because you're being genuine and humble.
Yeah.
Because to them, they're judging you based off how cool you look or how good looking you look.
Right.
So
and then I'm a cocky asshole.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's the same thing with me. You know that me and you, we're both moon Capricorns. So like we have a lot of similarities. Same thing, indecision, you know, confidence, not trusting myself. All the things that you've said is me. I'm so self-aware. I pay attention to every little detail on how people smirk, their face reactions, like everything. And like that's why like I've been bad at relationships, because so many of these things that I didn't understand about myself, I had to learn from trial and error. You know,
Yeah.
I had to like, where the difference is, I think, is that I learned to not be so indecisive. I've actually learned to like just make a decision, and if it blows up in my face, it blows up in my face, and I learn from it and move on. You know, but I still have those moments too where like I can't. Sometimes I'm like overthinking things. I don't know what's the right decision.
Yeah. I get like that. And that's why I try to tell people sometimes it's hell in my head. That's why I should probably just stay high all the time. That's how that you combat that. Because right now there ain't fucking anything in my head but air. There's like a cloud with no words written in it. There's a carpet with no genie. Like it's just
Bro, I'm telling you, man, when I first started smoking weed for the first time 5 years ago, like I found a godsend, because it's like, this is what silence feels like. This is what silence feels like.
That's so
this
funny.
is what control over my thoughts feels like.
Yeah. I don't do it as that often. Very like just sometimes, you know. So if I had to be a pothead, I'd probably get like a C-.
I have to do it every day. I gotta do it every day. My mind is
talked about it on one of my shows that you did about you using it as a crutch. What's that like now?
Well,
and I'm not trying to interview you. This is your show. I'm just curious.
I don't smoke cigarettes no more. I've
well, that's good.
Cigarettes, but I don't say weed is my crutch anymore. In fact, I only smoke. I mean, I still smoke like 2 or 3 spliffs a day, but I don't just sit here and smoke. Most of the time, I'm smoking, and then I get this creative idea, and I try to like act on it. I try to use my creative energy a lot while I'm smoking, and it's really at nighttime, right before bed, where I actually sit down, lay back, smoke one until it's completely finished, and then I fucking knock out. Because if I go to sleep without smoking, my mind is active for an hour.
Yeah. It can do that. It can do like either one. It could either relax your mind and put you in a good sleep, or just you're up all night tinkering inside your brain.
Right.
Yeah, it's a very interesting stimulant.
Yeah.
Cannabis is a very interesting stimulant.
Yeah. Well, bro, we're gonna end it right here.
Cool.
Really appreciate you coming on my show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, bro. I'm surprised I hadn't done it sooner.
Yeah. No, I wanted to have you sooner, but you know, when we spoke on your show, I had complications with like studio and people.
Yeah.
So I had to really figure my shit out before I invited such a astounding guest.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much.
You're very welcome. So
good day.
Yeah, bro. For all of you watching, I'm going to be putting the Wrestling Diary links to Mitchell's show, so you can check him out. Check out the interview between us on his show. I'm going to be also, don't forget, showing you guys the little skit that we did. Mr. Sasquatch over here.
I don't know what you're talking about. What Sasquatch? Those aren't imaginary.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Peace out. Love you guys. Deuces. Thanks, bro. Hold on a second.
Sweet.
Stop this.